10 steps to help you find your photography niche, just like I did. Now, when I say niche, it's pronounced niche and niche, depending on where you are. Now, I don't know where you are when you're watching this, but I call it niche, so let's go with that. It's the good old British way. I might be wrong here. I've probably listened to too many podcasts from over the pond, but it's not important. Let's get on to the thing. 10 steps to help you find your photography niche, just like I did. I spent years getting nowhere with my photography, and in this video I'm going to tell you what I wrote about on my blog this week at rickmcevoyphotography.com, and hopefully we'll get a little bit more out of it. So what are those 10 things first? Now, I'm not going to do the list of 10 things. I'm just going to go through them one by one, nice and slowly. Okay, here we go. Number 1, try a wide variety and styles of photography. Now, I'm the best example of this you could possibly look for. I tried everything and anything. I tried getting work. When I've been into photography since I was 13, which is 22 years ago. Okay, maybe not. Well, not 42 years ago anyway. 40 years ago. 40 years I've been in photography. So on and off. When I started off as a kid, I loved it. I had my own dark room, my own cameras, went to art college. I was a poor student, started in construction, stayed there a couple of decades longer than intended, but not to worry. So I tried all these things, and then when I wanted to make a living from photography, around 2007 with a change of career, I started, trying to do anything and everything. I marketed myself as a photographer locally, and I took on any work that I could. Now, the first commercial job I did... Sorry, there's a bit of a backstory to this, which is relevant, because this is all about number 1. It's just that I did it for a lot longer than... about 30 years longer than I should have done, really. But that's the point I want to get over to you now. Hopefully you'll take that one thing away from it there. So, first job was photographing a celebrity chef. Now, I don't photograph people. I'm no good at it. As luck would have it, my basic skills were good enough that I managed to do the shoot and get paid for it. So that was all fine. I photographed car accident damage, £15 per job. I did interiors and exteriors of houses and floor plans, £50 per job. This is not well paid work, I can assure you. Excuse me, my phone's going. We'll just have to get rid of that one. They've gone. They'll phone again. I know who he is. I photographed someone's hand that was injured in an accident for an insurance firm. I did the grand opening of 4G at an EE store in Poole. Sounds grand, doesn't it? But it wasn't really. I photographed a candle shop. That was great, actually. I got some really good stuff out of that. Basically, I would photograph anything that paid. And what I did was I marketed myself as the photographer who would do anything at any price. So what I ended up doing was a lot of jobs and not getting paid much. And with regards to my photography, I was so busy not getting paid much, I didn't have time to do anything else. This went on for far too long. So number 2 on my list of 10 things, practice taking photos, and you should naturally find the genre that works for you, that you enjoy doing. Okay, so this is before you're earning money from it. Well, not necessarily, but in general terms. In my case, I was making money. I wasn't practicing any genre. I was doing anything that anybody would pay me to do. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what I enjoyed doing, but I just didn't listen to people. So number 3, decide what your thing is. Time to commit. This is when things started to change for me, and this is why I'm here talking to you about it now and writing about it on my blog. When I made that decision, I'm going to do architectural photography, everything changed. I applied to join the British Institute of Professional Photography, the BIPP. I submitted an architectural portfolio. First time I got a portfolio together. First time I'd had photos critiqued. And you know what? I wasn't as good as I thought I was. But I had a critique and it was brilliant. And that gave me the focus. And since that day at the photography show with the wonderful Bryn Griffiths. Hi, Bryn. Oh, hope you're well. Hasselblad master, by the way. So, yeah, real deal. Critiquing my work, it was amazing. That's one for another time. So yeah, ever since then and ever since I've had that focus, things have changed. I hate using the word focus when I'm talking about photography because it could get... Anyway, number 4, practice that thing. Just practice, practice, practice. I keep saying this, the number 1 way to improve your photography, and not my ability to speak English. No, actually it applies, is to practice. Number 5, study the work of others in that genre. Do as I say, not as I do. I do not do this. I know I should do this. I still don't do this. So, study other people. You can learn from them. 6, learn about composition in your thing. So you got your one thing. Learn composition. This I have done. And I've actually extended this a bit to my camera setup now. It's all geared up, so when I'm out on a commercial shoot, I only have one thing that I need to worry about. Well, 2, sorry. 1 is the composition, and the second thing is where I put my focus point. Everything else is already dialed in my camera. Composition is number 1. Composition is king. Do not forget that. Work on composition. Very, very important, because if you think about it, that's what people are going to be looking at when they look at your photos. 7, work at it. Just work at it. Work at that one thing. Work. Everything I do is focused on that one thing. Architectural photography, photographing buildings, construction photography. Nothing else. If someone asked me to do a wedding or photograph things I don't photograph, I politely decline because I don't do it anymore. I used to. I'm not making that mistake again. Be the go-to person for that one thing. Just be the person who photographs buildings, be it in your town, county, state, whatever. Just be the person who does that thing. Number 9, brand yourself as a person who does that one thing. All my branding on my website now. I've got a couple of tweaks to do, I know, but it's all about buildings and working with me and learning from me about architectural photography. So there's 2 sides to this. There's my architectural photography work where I'm trying to attract clients, but I'm also trying to help other photographers become architectural photographers because it's good to share your knowledge, and I'm happy doing that. Number 10, become excellent in that one thing. Now, if I'm photographing cars, people's hands, headshots. I did headshots as well. I didn't tell you that one, did I? Weddings, portraits, landscapes, holiday stuff, travel. If I'm photographing all those things, I'm not going to become excellent in any of them at all. I ended up becoming a jobbing photographer. I was a photographer working to a professional standard. I was an average professional photographer. And if I hadn't made the change, I would have spent the rest of my time being an average professional photographer doing any job that anybody was prepared to pay me for. Now I do one thing and that's all I do, and I can charge more for it as well because I'm better at it. Am I excellent in that one thing? It's not for me to say, is it? Let's be honest with you. I'm pretty good. I get by. I like my work. I do look at my photos and think they've been taken by a professional photographer, i.e. somebody else. So if you have imposter syndrome, don't worry, I still do as well. Right, I'm done. Thank you for watching this video all the way through to this point. Couple of things I'd like you to do. Check out my blog, rickmcavoyphotography.com/blog. And the other thing is to check out my Photography Explained podcast. It's dead good honest. photographyexplainedpodcast.com. Would you believe? Thank you again for joining me on my YouTube channel. I've been Rick McEvoy. I'll say goodbye. Cheers from me, Rick.